how would you describe each and every one of those guys?
Zach is an excited young man. Tim is a literary genius. Brandon is sick. He's got a sore throat.
Oh, really?
This may be the last interview I ever do.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sorry for that. Well, I'm going to let you talk then, because, I mean, if it's the last words, give us your famous last words.
I just want to say I've had a good time in this band. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for your presence.
You know, we had a good run. And
It's been a good run.
I'll see you on the dark side.
Well,
It's gonna be an awesome funeral though. It's gonna we got a bunch of bands playing.
Yeah.
Dude, it's gonna be really cool. Yeah. And Zach's gonna MC it.
Since he's gonna die anyway, we might as well tell him we got AC/DC, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna be awesome.
Really good catering. Everything's gonna be great. It's gonna be a party.
well, how would you arrange his funeral? Let's say you have like a festival that you can do for his funeral. Who would be on there?
Lots of unicycling and juggling, and
Monkeys playing drums.
Firefighters.
Dogs saving the day. Sorry.
Oh, dogs.
No, okay, now you have to explain. I mean, it seems like you're like a circus guy. I mean,
Zach's brother directed this movie called Firehouse Dog, and it just came out in the States. I don't know if it's over here yet. Did he say if it's over here yet?
It's probably not over here yet. The premise behind the movie is
Quite an interesting premise, actually.
it is kind of quite an interesting premise. If just everyday pets, animals, house animals, were able to do things that normal human beings can do.
Like what?
Maybe fight fire,
Oh.
or skateboard.
'Cause
Maybe
dogs can't skate.
Dogs can't skateboard, and dogs aren't named people names either. And so I think in this movie, the dogs are named Doug, Steve, and they talk with their little lip.
I'm done.
And I think it's going to start a whole new genre of filmmaking, where household pets, cats, dogs, lizards, birds, do things that normal humans can do. Because I believe really in my heart of hearts that a dog can drive a bus, or a dog can do your taxes. Yeah.
I also believe that the children are our future.
I do too. If you give them a chance.
When's the last time you gave a chance to have a dog do your dishes?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, dogs can't do dishes, or can they?
Can they? Dogs.
I have heard rumors of dogs breakdancing, though.
Well, and that's what this movie is about. It's going to sweep the nation, at least in America. Hopefully, it'll come over here and people will understand what's going on.
Sweet Belgium.
Garfield tried, but I think they did it with CGI, and it just didn't sell it. You know, it looked fake.
Garfield's on the roads.
Garfield.
I never bought into Garfield, man.
Didn't
That was
either.
just like,
I didn't
It's
either.
all hype.
yeah, it's like
all
putting a
right.
man on the moon, man.
Yeah, because no human likes lasagna that much.
Yeah, that's
Kind of
true.
like saying the world's round.
It's true.
I mean, come on.
I mean, I like lasagna.
I like
I'll eat lasagna, but I won't eat it like
Like
3 times a day like Garfield
And
did.
when you do eat
Who
it,
eats
Tim,
lasagna that much?
I've seen you eat lasagna, and you don't eat it just by one piece. Like Garfield definitely shovels it in.
It's true.
That doesn't sell it. Humans don't eat the lasagna that way.
I could
You're
have
up. Sorry, I was trying to point that.
said it better myself.
Yeah.
all the intolerance in the world. What's your explanation for that? Where does it come from? Tim.
Do we know?
Barnes.
I can hold it.
Please, thank you.
No,
There you
I think if you keep people scared, and keep them, robots, they're not gonna.
I was just trying to hold it.
Yeah. I don't even know where I was going with that.
I'm sorry.
I just
I didn't mean it for it to be funny. Damn it. Go.
No. I think people are kind of forced to not think too hard, because that's the whole fear tactic. Zach, you got to get away from it.
Sorry, dude.
Tim, go. That was it. I finished my.
I agree with Barnes, and I think that, I think obviously it's easier to not care about things. You know what I mean? It's easier if you can just kind of turn a blind eye to the problems of the world and just go on with your life and whatever your own personal interests are in life. And if you're able to do that, if you're able to sort of block out, the fact that you live in a planet where injustices are committed every day, every hour, in any way, shape, or form, whether that's on other people or whether it's on animals or whether it's on the environment. There's if you're comfortable living in that world, and you don't feel like you need to be a part of that solution at all, then then so be it. You know what I mean? Like like far be it for me to try to change your mind. I think what we're there for people who actually are in an active pursuit of some sort of answer, or at least to be among people who actually care about things. You know what I mean? Like I think that I don't want to go out there and try to convince everybody to agree with me, you know what I mean, or agree with the way we are, or agree with me like punk rock standpoint, you know what I mean. I think that's a very ambitious goal. I enjoy being around people who have similar goals, similar questions about the world, similar concerns about the world, and I like the fact that we as well as many bands like us can be out there as evidence to kids who are growing up in this world that they are not alone if they do have these questions. You don't feel like a freak if you don't agree with some of the things that's going on with like your government, or even like your school faculty, or what your other friends are doing. I think that there's a way for us to show them, listen, you're not alone, you're not a freak. Like, we feel this way too. We're not going to sit here and say that we have every single answer to every single problem, but we are going to say here that we are looking for those answers.
People look up to you, and you can really make a difference. So, I mean, I think it's important to stay fighting. Do you think I'm naive to think that, or what's your opinion on that?
I don't think so. I think that this band alone is evidence that that we've made actual concrete changes, what I mean, as far as like things like the influence that we've had over things like animal rights and vegetarianism. Like, I can't tell you how many emails I got where somebody emails me and says, listen, I heard your song, I saw your video, and I realized that this is a concern of yours, and it got me interested in it, and I realized that I too was concerned about this kind of stuff, and now I'm a vegetarian. That's a life-changing decision. That's not like something as small as, I don't even know what to compare it to, but it's like a life-changing decision, and like it's a life-changing decision for that person, for the environment, for the animals, that will no longer, have to suffer for that person's appetite, and I think that's incredibly, like, I mean, even I lose sight of how much of an influence that this band has had, and just in that one particular thing that we've sort of brought up simply because, none of us eat meat. But I think that there are a lot of less concrete things that we can put our finger on, of things that we've actively been involved in changing. Because I think what this band does, like intentionally or unintentionally, is that I think that the music sort of awakes a part of people that is sort of dormant, and that part of that person might not care about animal rights, but care about something else. It might be this part of this person in the crowd out there who deep down really cares about political science, but is majoring in business or something like that. And maybe the band or the music or the scene has influenced them to change their mind about that. Or maybe it's something completely different. This person cares about poverty and wants to do something about that, and the band sort of maybe awakes that inside of that person. And so there are things like not as specific as I think animal rights that you could, if you talk to people in our crowd or people listen to our music, you can say, this band helped me realize that I do care about this, that I shouldn't be scared to speak out about it, because I think that we sort of lead by example. Maybe that, like, we speak about something we care about, so you can speak out about something that you care about.
A thing that we care about a lot at Taste TV, because we get a lot of emails concerning those topics, is depression in teenagers. And I wanted to ask you, but I mean, again, if you don't want to talk about it, don't do it. But I wanted to ask you personally, have you ever been through like a period of depression, and what got you through it?
Yeah, definitely for me. And I think that I came to realize that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's not all, it's not always going to be bad, and that's what got me through it. And music helped a lot. Just kind of listening to bands like Bad Religion and even Descendants, because it was a lot that had to do with a relationship of mine going sour, and and actually getting tattooed seems to help me get through things in my life. Yeah, definitely.
In what way?
I don't know, I think it's like a sense of the ending of an era. Like, actually, this tattoo symbolizes me coming out of a depression. It's a guy crawling out of a wooden box. That's the lid. But So yeah, that helped me a lot actually.
Thank you.
The thing that Joe pointed out about music, I think the biggest depression I ever went through was my dad died when I was a kid, and I was 17, and it made me just throw myself wholeheartedly, without looking back into music and into doing this with my life and doing, and no matter how hard things got, and things got real hard, in certain points, where you're a grown man and you're not 17 anymore, and you still have to, and so I guess the point of that is like not just music, but just putting yourself into anything, instead of basically I just had to sort of focus on something else, you know what I mean? Because I'm a pretty obsessive person when it comes to things, anything really, and I was just focusing on that, and then I decided to get passionate about something. It could be anything, it could be anything creative, anything artistic, anything, cooking or whatever it may be, but throw yourself 110% into something, and it helped me out, you know what I mean? And it was probably the most difficult things in my life, and it got me through it, and then it kind of set my goal in life as well, so it ended up being this amazing thing for the rest of my life, but a really hard thing to get through at the time, So it's kind of in a weird way, it kind of found myself. So I guess the point is like what Joe just said too, with depression, it sometimes can be a life-altering thing that can turn out for the better, because usually there's some huge reason why you're depressed. Something happened to you that you can't even explain, or that it's never going to happen that bad again, or whatever,
Yeah, and I agree with Zach too. Like I think the hard times that you go through, I mean, they are life altering, and it's up to you how you want that to alter your life, and how you're going to let it alter your life. I know that for me, any hard time I ever had, I took that and I channeled that into something creative, something artistic, or I wrote about it, or wrote a song about it, or did something about it, and it ended up, being a lot of just the things that I've managed to create in my own life, and in a lot of ways the reason why I'm here today, because I was able to put this into something musical, for me, but it might not be musical for somebody else, they might be able to channel into something totally different, For me it was music, and in that sense, like all the shit that I ever dealt with, like ended up sort of defining, who I would become, you know what I mean? So like I think that whenever a kid comes up to me, and it's really hard too when you have a kid or a fan come up to you or email you and say, I'm going through all these hard times, what do I do? It's like, I don't consider myself an authority on what to do to get yourself out of, a hard time. But I know, like, what I like to tell kids is to embrace that time in your life, because it's gonna make you who you are, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not just the good times that you go through that, like, make you who you are, but it's like the bad times, it's gonna really shape the person that you become. I know it's shaped me, you know what I mean? And I'm glad that I kind of took those things head on and turned them into what is like the lyrics, or what is a lot of the music, so stuff like that.
I was going to say, this sounds like a broad sweeping generalization, but every one of your heroes was probably depressed at one point. That's kind of what makes them interesting. You know what I mean? Everybody's broken. Everybody that did anything, now that I'm thinking about it, and anything really interesting, artistically at least, I think it was born out of some sort of dysfunction, or them being outcast, or them being, laughed at one point, and then turning out to, shape the world and change things and stuff like that. So, I mean, that is a rough thing for kids, man. It's a rough thing when you're a teenager. Kids are depressed for no reason, just because they're teenagers, it's a rough time. And then for something else bad to happen on top of that, it's just like, I can only imagine, I mean, shit, it happened to me too, anyway.
Yeah, I think that's, in my eyes, that's how I interpret the band name Rise Against. Because when you're growing up, you don't feel like you fit in, but it's okay to feel that way. So kids should know that. It's also worth mentioning that this is a super deluxe microphone cord.
Super deluxe? Holy shit.
Which I love.
Not just the deluxe.
It's super deluxe.
Super deluxe?
Super.
It literally says that right on the thing.
Do we sound
Super
better?
deluxe.
I normally just go deluxe.
Do we sound better?
You sound better, yes.
Next year, go on to super fantastic. Super fantastic deluxe.
The super duper.
Okay, but you guys, you're making a good point. I mean, laughing. No, but now too, because I mean, laughing and just acting stupid. Sorry. Yes, yeah. I mean, that's so important. But I'm going to have to leave you guys because otherwise, I mean, you have to get ready to go on stage. No, it was nice. It was nice talking to you, and I think we got some pretty good points across and stuff. So thank you very much. And yeah, maybe wave goodbye to the people.
Bye, people.